Welcome back to Just a Godfather channel. Guys, let's jump right in. We have a few things to talk about. The striker search is beginning to heat up. Obviously, we have that big game that's coming up tomorrow against Real BETIS. So for the time being, obviously there's been a lot of rumors with regards to who our next striker is going to be. But all things are on hold, really, until we finish taking care of, hopefully, Real, BETIS, tomorrow, so we can go on ahead and become the first club in Europe to complete the entire European Cup collection. I mean, if you're in it, you just might as well win it, right? It's the Conference League Cup, but it's a cup. It's a European Cup, and it's a cup that we have to win because, by God's grace, we're not planning to come back to do this thing over again. Let's just try and get this thing done once and one time only, right? And so, with regards to that, I have put together my proposed lineup. We already know that our manager Maresca has already given us an idea that, listen, he's going to make some changes because we just played a very, very intensive game, a massive game against Forest away on Sunday that we had to win, and thankfully we won, and it helped us to finish fourth, and we then qualified for the Champions League. So that was massive. But hey, as massive as it was, it took a lot of energy. It took a lot of draining. We're gonna need some fresh legs. So in goal, I have Jorgensen, not because I have Jorgensen, but our coach pretty much said that Jorgensen is going to start in goal. So it's going to be Jorgensen in goal. At left back, I have Cucurella at left back. I have Levi Colwell at the left center back. I have Trevor at right center back. Gusto at right back. Guys, we already know that James is not going to play on 2 days, not up to 3 days rest. He's not going, so he's definitely going to be on the bench. So it's going to be most likely, Gusto at right back. The midfield, I mean, we don't only have that many options. Lavia is not available for this game because he just did not play in the first round, so he just doesn't qualify. So we pretty much are stuck with Caicedo and Enzo in midfield, and then along with Palmer in his usual 10 role. Then on the left wing, I have Jadon Sancho, and it could be Neto, but I think it's most likely going to be Sancho. He was the first player that was subbed out away at City Ground against Forest, so he's on fresh. I expect him. I'm banking that he's going to be starting at left wing, and then at right wing I have Nani at right wing. So that gives us our two most natural wingers in their most preferred spot, right? Because it's not like we don't want Nani playing on the left. Nani is better coming from the right, and Jadon is better coming from the left. And then at striker, Jackson is out of the doghouse. Well, if you want to call it that, but he got that red card in the league, but thankfully it doesn't apply to European games. So Jackson he's the only striker that we get. Gui just came back from injury, so I expect to see him on the bench. But Jackson is most likely going to start at 9, and that's what I have. And we're just hoping and praying that these guys are able to get it done against BETIS. We know that they have a couple guys that can give us headaches. The likes of Isco, the likes of Anthony, right? And so, and I mean, they're a La Liga side, so it's coached by Manuel Pellegrini, who actually helped a City to actually win a Premier League title. So they have a really good manager, right? So this is not any team to sniff at. I mean, yes, it's the Conference League, but Betis. Real Betis is a proper team. And they're ready for us. They've been resting since Friday, right? Since they had a game on a Friday, and so I mean they have an extra 2 days rest on our guys, so they're going to be ready. And it's for Betis, I don't think Betis has won any major trophy. I might be wrong, but I don't. And I, definitely not in Europe. So this is going to be massive for Betis. They're just going to be waiting for us, just like Nottingham Forest was waiting for us. So we have to be careful in the way that we go about this game and try our best to just get the desired results so we can lift this trophy and bring it back to London. Last but not least, let's talk about the strikers, right? Let's talk about the strikers, because we have a striker issue, and in as much as we would like to see Osimhen at the club, guys, it's not based on the little bits of news right now. I mean, never say never, but it's not looking good right now. Victor Osimhen coming to Chelsea is not looking good, because his wage demands, in as much as we have qualified for Champions League, it still remains to be seen as to whether we were going to be able to squeeze Osimhen's wage demands into our FFP situation. So for the time being, right, time waits for nobody. And Chelsea directors have already listed 2 strikers in the name of Hugo Ekitike and Liam Delap. Hugo costs 84 million pounds or 100 million euros. That's what that club is demanding. That's just crazy. And I had mentioned a bit about him and his playing style in my last video. His play style is very similar to Jackson, and we saw a bit of him in Europa League, especially when he played against Spurs and scored a very nice goal against Spurs. But he's very similar to Jackson, but with a bit more polished shooting capability. But for me, for the quoted price, no, I might as well just hold on to Jackson. I might as well. We have Jackson. Yeah, Jackson only cost us 30 million. Now this guy is a bit better, but is he 50 million pounds better? For me, the answer is no. So move on to Delap. Now Delap's fee is only 30 million pounds. Nobody has any issue with the fee. In fact, there's at least 4 clubs that have already, they're all in line, waiting for Delap to make a decision. There's Chelsea, there's Man U, there's Everton, and there's a new Castle, right? And so each club has pretty much reached out to Delap's agents. Chelsea has already talked to Delap's agent and given him an idea as to how Delap is going to fit, in terms of playing for Maresca. We already know that Delap grew up through the Man City youth system. Maresca used to coach for Man City's academy team, and so he's familiar with the player. The player is definitely familiar with the way that as to how Maresca likes to play, and the profile of the striker is the profile that we don't have. In that he's a bulky striker, he's physical striker. He's a striker that loves contact, that loves to hold up play. He has pace. He has very good skill. Yes, he only scored 12 goals last season, but he played for Ipswich, and Ipswich did not create enough shooting opportunities for him. If you look at the numbers, you will see that Delap only had about roughly around half of the shooting chances that comparable strikers in big clubs had. So there's definitely a lot of room for growth in terms of making that 12 goal number a bit closer to 20, which is what what we're looking for. And he's still relatively young at 20, 22 or 23 years old. So for me, Delap, in the absence of Osimhen, because as it is right now, Osimhen is looking like a pipe dream. In the absence of Osimhen, and just given that these are the two guys that we are looking at right now, and I know there's Sesko out there, Gio Keres is out there as well, but let's be frank, there are not that many strong links, strong rumors with regards to those two other strikers. These two strikers are the strikers that have been strongly linked to Chelsea over the past few days, and my guess and my bet is in the next 48 to 72 hours, basically by the end of this week, everybody, especially with regards to Delap, we're all gonna have an idea as to where Delap is gonna be, and I'm hoping that Delap comes to Chelsea to play for us, and that's just my hope. And then we're just gonna have to hold on to Jackson, notwithstanding that the other striker that we have in France, Emaga. Chelsea is in the process of putting together a contract to have the player stay over in Strasbourg for one more season and then join Chelsea next season. Now, where does that leave Jackson? Obviously, if we get Delap, and then next year we have Maga coming to Chelsea, and we got Jackson, and we got Mark Gill. So obviously, there's going to be one striker is going to be the odd man out. So, but let's not get ahead of ourselves and worry about that. For right now, my concentration is in two places. Number one, the Real Betis game tomorrow. We need to lift that trophy by all means necessary. And number two, Rory Delap needs to be a Chelsea striker by the end of this week. How do you guys feel? Like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you guys. Peace.